Beerberg gave me like a good discussion point with like generally like where purple is at right now. Like I want to hear your thoughts on it.
Um, I don't know. I mean, I think it's definitely on the weaker side of all the colors, but I also feel like it's kind of underrated,
Yeah,
just because they still have a lot of like unique tools that only purple has access to. Like,
yeah, I pretty
and
much agree exactly with that.
only thing that I think you've said this before, but the only thing that I also think is missing is just like more big swing cards. Like they don't have any Sapos, Murmurs, Angels, or like Magnus, anything on like near that level.
Hmm.
And so I kind of like Master of Shadows because it kind of felt like a swing card, and I've kind of just avoided it since the nerf, but it might still be okay. But
Yeah, I pretty much agree with that. Um, it doesn't help that the like purple in general is like a very popular color. It does like a lot of things different from the
yeah,
other
we have a lot
colors.
of weebs in this game, so that's
Yeah.
just natural.
Yeah, that definitely helps with the thing. And it's probably like the most flavorful defined color as well. Like it feels like an actual like faction rather than other stuff. So people
A
just
lot of
gravitated to it.
I hear a lot of the arguments in Discord like, "Oh, purple has no faction identity and stuff," but I kind of feel like I think it has some pretty strong themes throughout and has unique stuff for the color. So I don't know. I never really understood that argument.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, for sure. It's not as near as like bad as blue. Like for sure. I think
uh,
we can agree with that. Like blue is
yeah,
like in
yeah,
a terrible spot. Like, but
but
even then, blue is still like can do good things.
yeah, yeah. Blue is still seems like it's kind of carried by Magnus almost, but
Yeah, Mac. Stairway is still really good, and like certain lists, things like that.
and like any list that wants to do heavy enchantment synergy, like
Yeah,
that's like blue has that niche of just being like the color to do enchantment stuff, and for Valkyries, if you want to,
yeah.
Valkyries is like the only good theme or not theme, but tribal thing that we
Yeah.
have going on right now. So
Mm-hmm.
they
Yeah, for
still have
sure.
stuff going for it.
It definitely has the best enchantments, I think,
Mm.
just overall. Like Carnhinge. Even things like Field of Poppies are like pretty good. Like if you want like a techie like enchantment, like a rainbow deck. So
Yeah,
it
Earth
definitely
Slide
has a
is
yeah
good too.
slide. Yeah, it has a lot of like good equity. Like even though like we're saying like blue is like kind of bad, it's just it still like has like a place in like the meta game. It just needs like a few buffs.
It might be just because like they have like the Kanon theme and the Valkyrie theme going on, so that their minions
Yeah,
like outside of those themes are just kind of like fail in comparison to the other colors. And
yeah,
I just kind of feel like they don't have a bunch of go to like besides maybe Black and Jotun's the best one of these they have, but just like go to minions you can slot up in any deck because it's all
hmm.
like very specific things.
I like I like your the thing that you suggested with ensnaring a serpent, giving it swift. Like it's not like the best card in the world, even whenever you give it swift, but like it would be so much better with
Yeah,
it.
yeah, for sure. Things
Just,
go. I mean, I've like I don't know the past couple of weeks I've been experimenting a lot more, so I've been playing like the blue with all Father Horns OTKs and stuff, and I mean I've found some success going that route. It's I don't know, it's just that they don't have like a big meat of just good stuff cards to play, which is just like all the best decks right now are just like using orange good stuff cards and running everyone over with those. So
yeah, yeah, we can definitely get into orange and things like that. Um, Last thing on like blue kinda is the Brocky nerf really kinda hit it hard, I think. Because Brocky was like that swing card for him, other than Magnus.
hmm.
Um,
uh,
because
yeah,
he
it
could just
definitely hit
blow
him hard,
out
but
with the frenzy thing. Hmm?
I'm happy. I'm happy that like I did hit them hard because they felt kind of so reliant on Broggy and
Yeah.
Magnus. But like I feel like it had to get nerfed. They just need to like
Hmm.
buff some surrounding cards around, and it should work itself out. But
Yeah. 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 Also, they do have the best probably like one of the best monocolor cards in Bridgeway Troll. They got that going for them. So like
Yeah, for sure.
like they probably just
And then,
need like two like really playable build arounds, and they should be good. I think.
I mean, a lot of people still really like playing blue, and you can see like by Rhino's numbers that blue still has one of the best win rates
Yeah,
out of all the colors. So
yeah. People do like
just
blue a lot.
it's just I find it hard personally to just make good decks with it, but it might just be like my problem. I don't know.
Yeah, I can turn them up a little bit. Just put them right here. Okay, let's I guess we can talk about all the colors since we're already going down this route. Like where they're at. So you mentioned orange. Orange is just super good right now. Like ever since they buffed Beast, like they could just like it's
even before the Beast buff though,
yeah.
they just had like I mean they just had the best on curve minions like in almost every slot in the curve. It seems like
Yeah,
like
they
their 2-drops have this added utility with Recruiter and Ghoul that no other factions have, like access on a 2/3 body. They have the best 3-drops. They have parry at 4, and that's all you really care about is those.
yeah.
After that, who cares really?
Even like regulars is really good. Like this card was a problem in alpha, and people will barely even play it anymore. Broker, like they just have pretty much everything except for like the healing and things like that. I know some people really don't like the design of Scion. How do you feel about that? Do you think it should be like nerfed or anything like that?
Or sorry, you cut out what card did you say?
Sign of Pride.
Oh, I'm. I don't know. With Sign of Pride, I've never like it's a really strong card, but it's not like I've never found it to be a huge issue. Like
Yeah,
maybe you could change it to like be immune from lions instead of spirits, so like it makes Racer slightly better, but that's not really going to change like all that much.
yeah.
Like I'd be fine with that change if you want to, but just, I don't know.
I like the spirits flavor, so I wouldn't want to change it either. I like. I think the card is really
That just doesn't
good.
seem like the. Yeah, it is an incredible card. It just doesn't seem like that's the card that's pushing orange over the top. It's more just, I guess, their 3-drops that are just outclass everyone else.
Yeah, the 3-drop and E-Recruit just being so good. Like just the recruit just is just so good. You can cycle it, you can play it. It's very versatile.
Yeah. I mean, I've kind of like the aspect of just like buffing the other colors to orange's level, but I can definitely I definitely hear the arguments that we should just like nerf Shadowvar and Ifrit more to make it so they're weaker. But I've just at this point I've kind of just accepted how strong 3-drops are, and I kind of like to see other colors with strong 3-drops too. But
Yeah, we should. Yeah, like it's definitely not the answer to just nerf orange at this point. Seems like Rhino really likes where orange is at. They didn't, then they would probably would have nerfed Beast even harder, but we kind of don't have clarification on that because Rhino doesn't really tell us why things change necessarily. Not even to like our as partners or anything like that. They just go like, okay, we changed this. Like we know like this card is like really strong, so we expect it to be changed. So like I guess we can say that Ifrit's not going to get changed since how long it's been a thing.
I like really also just really enjoy playing with the new Shadowvar Beast, even in its nerf state where it's still really good, but just being able to play off the fragile with different synergies and other colors has been really fun for me.
Yeah, for sure. And the thing about playing orange is like you definitely feel like whenever you don't play orange. Most of my decks I do play orange, and like not having things like Angel and the 3-drops and Parry, Scion, and all that good stuff is just it makes you work way harder.
Yeah, because I mean, you play your 3-drop into their Ifrit, and then you're just having to play catch up from then on out.
Yeah. So yeah, let's move on to let's say yellow. Yellow is a pretty interesting color. They pretty much only play like one archetype, which is like control and a bit like a mid-range, but you have to like commit to yellow. You never see like a yellow deck that only plays like a few yellow cards, maybe bulwarks, but you have to commit to yellow.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yellow's like Misanthropia is just like the best removal card in the game. Like I heard you say in Discord earlier, so
Yeah.
it's hard to. I don't know. It's hard to not want to commit fully to be able to play all that stuff. And it might be that there's some good like mid-range yellow decks out there, but people are so tempted by like Misanthropia that they don't want to play like go the mid-range direction. Like could definitely be a possibility, but
Yeah, for sure. Things like drugs. And like people already like kind of know my thing on drugs. I don't really like the design of the card. I think it just is like a get out of jail free type of card that's like way undercosted. So like basically, like I don't know, like you're probably like at 7+ mana whenever you need to use it for like the second effect. So like you can play something like really good with it. So it's like, oh, the card is just so good. And drawing 2, 8.
It's part of the reason. I mean, I've been trying to think of ways to make aggro better, and the only ways I can really think of it just by nerfing some of the yellow cards that are too good, like drug.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, it's hard to say really what else, but
I think Falls is fine. I really like Falls. Like you have to keep on playing cards in it. And plus I don't want to nerf Angel Loop. I think it's good for the. I think Angel Loop is a good deck for the game. It's really highlights like what's cool about Mythgard and things like that.
Yeah. I'm starting to wonder if Misanthropia is going to have to get nerfed eventually, because it just punishes like any deck that doesn't have like over the top rush or OTK stuff. We're so hard coming down at 5.
Yeah.
I haven't really made up my mind on that or not, but it almost feels like
it's a hard thing to say. It really just comes down to if there's ever rotation. Like Misanthropia will not be able to stay if it's like no rotation like anytime soon. Like let's say we can get a rotation like 4 to 5 years. I know that's a long way out, then I'm fine with Misanthropia staying the same. But like if that's not like the case, then
I am not thinking anywhere close to that far out.
Like the Blight is really good. Like it's definitely better than Destroy.
If it was pushed to 6 mana, it would still see like the exact same amount of play and still be like that save your ass card. But it's like I don't know. I haven't, as I said, haven't made my mind up on it, but I almost feel like it should get pushed to 6 just because it's so punishing for decks that try to build boards. Like the fact that YG and like YB can just like sit there and I don't know, be so dirtily and not get punished because they have Misanthropia and they're ready to go is just I don't know. It's really frustrating if you're trying to play any type of creature-based deck.
And then like you have like these Planewalker type cards like Zola and Godsbane that really don't care about being missing. So you're using their abilities anyway. It's like, oh, this is like positive for me. Like it's like you basically turn it into a tempo card if you can. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But yellow was kind of like weak for like a while. But I really like what they done to it. Like we have like Venom Fang and things like that now.
I mean, just Shadowvar is kind of what's keeping Venom Fang out right now.
Yeah.
Just because.
Yeah.
I do really like new Venom Fang, but it feels bad when he has 0 attack.
Yeah, you can't really. Shadowvar is pretty punishing. Like, I don't know. I know a lot of people don't like that card. I don't.
Yeah.
It's like a Goblin Chain Whirler, and like having like 1 mana, one health minion. It's just not.
At this point, if you're playing against orange and you're on the draw, it's like never worth it to block their 2-drop with your 2-drop because Shadowvar just like will win the game almost just like playing that into your 2-drop. So
yeah, we'll see. We have some things going, but I like overall where yellow is at.
Yeah.
You have a lot of good cards there.
Yeah, I really like playing yellow decks. I've always liked playing control. It just whether or not it's too punishing for aggro is like the question I have for it. But
Yeah. Yeah, we'll definitely get into aggro in general when we talk about red. We'll talk about green first. Um, Green is really good. It's probably the most balanced color right now, and like good at the same time. Like it doesn't really like have like super problem cards. Only thing is probably the Murmur is like way too undercosted, like 1 mana undercosted maybe. But other than that, I like green a lot. Like they have synergy with a lot of their cards. The
yeah.
div, they have divination. They pretty much have like they can do like aggro. They can do mid range. They can do control. Kolobok, you think Kolobok is super? I don't think
I mean,
Kolobok is. I think Kolobok is fine.
dude, people are really hating on Kolbach recently. I
I don't
I
know.
mean, the change that I suggested was making it 0 attack, so it doesn't punish 1 drops for like aggro decks, and it can still ramp you. Because I still like having ramp in the game at some extent, but
Yeah, I can see
the
that.
fact that like the person who goes first, and if you have impel, you can't even play your Kolobok into theirs because it's just like such a huge like they'll just impel it to wherever you put it and kill your Kolobok. So I feel like 0 attack is probably if they're not going to completely like kill the card or rework it to 2 mana or something, they probably should change it to 0 attack.
Yeah, yeah, I can see. I can see zero attack. It wouldn't. It wouldn't make me feel too bad.
And
Like,
as far as green overall, from my thoughts, like it's hard to make like a base green deck. They I don't know, they have really sweet like bombs and stuff, but they kind of have a similar blue problem where they don't have that many good meaty cards in the middle. It seems like they're almost always
yeah,
are
yeah,
forced to
yeah.
play the supporting role,
Only
which
thing is
isn't
Necro.
yeah. And then well yeah, Necro is the thing, but yeah, I mean I like green also. It seems like that's definitely has a good role as like a supporting color for decks, but besides Necro, it's not. There's not really many base green decks. It seems like.
Yeah, yeah. Still pretty healthy. Um, they have probably like they have the best so like dual color cards too, which is like kind of weird with like recursionist, faded firebird, and plague maidens.
They have they have a lot of really playable mythics too, just like between Murmur, EQ, Chort, Bella, Baba. Like maybe after Orange, they have the most playable mythics or like good mythics that you want to play.
Yeah, I can see that. Actually, they may have like one problem. Maybe Boneyard Abomination is a problem. I'm still like kind of in the range where like I know that Volition was like pretty bad, but I don't know. I feel like
Uh,
Boneyard was more the problem. Like it's
well, at this point, like the yellow green, like all I've done is just splash 2 orange cards to play Dire Benediction, and it plays the exact same way it did before. So
yeah,
I don't think like nerfing Volition for that deck it really did anything at all. But
yeah, yeah.
it's like
It's probably a bomb to be honest with you.
well, I mean, it's just if they want like OTKs to exist or not. Because I'm kind of personally fine with like having an OTK finishers in the game.
Yeah, me too.
So I just don't know if I mean, if Rhino seems like they're fine with it too because they didn't like they're always doing like these kind of half-assed nerfs that like they're still leaving the OTK potential intact. So I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. That's
I
the
don't know.
only thing. That's the only thing that I wish Rhino would do is like kind of like tell us their thought process on like buffs and nerfs or anything like that.
mm,
Like they're not obligated to do that, but it'd be pretty cool.
so we move on to red.
Yeah, yeah. Let's talk about red. Um, Red is like super good. Like we know that it's pretty much the best color, even though it doesn't have like the bulk of like super good playables that orange has. The fact that they just have Trapezus and other, you know,
The
it
fact
just
that
rush.
the fact that they have rush cards. It's just I just kind of feel bad because yeah, they're red super good, but it's only because rush cards are so good. Like I kind of
Yeah,
wish they had kind of more directions to go because like every red deck just ends up being like rush cards, you're the best mythics in the class, and then like whatever else it seems like.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, then Bull, of course, but yeah.
Yeah, Bull, Magnetar. Magnetar's really good. It's
Yeah.
it's a big reason why Magnetar and Misanthrope are a big reason why it's kind of hard to play aggro. Like you can never go to like one side hard because Magnetar just punishes you at 5.
Yeah,
But
but I like that aspect of Magnetar though, just
yeah,
like to make people think about the lanes and stuff more.
hmm I don't really mind it too much. Strat Live obviously is pretty good too. Helps out Red a lot for like racing situations and even things like pup. Like if you get like there's matchups where if you can get like one hit on with pup or two, like you can just win from that. Just because that tiny bit of life gain is just so good from that.
Yeah, that, that almost might be the problem, like the going first problem, but
Going first
just
problem is it?
well, I mean, like because if you play pup going second, it's a
Yeah.
lot less scary than having someone play it on one going first, as far as like responding to it. But,
Yeah, I would be very interested in that stat of like playing pup on one, like how many
hmm.
how many wins you get from there. It was pup was even better in like in the BR meta as well since you can put in enchantments and things like that, make it bigger, especially like in the blue stairway.
Yeah,
Um, they have some oddly interesting cards like Bar Bolt. I know we're a big fan of this card for prize creation decks. Just works out really well. Way to dump your mana because you get a lot of mana in prize creation. Kind of underrated about that aspect of it because you can burn the cola box.
or the forgelings. Yeah,
I mean, yeah, I don't know why I say cola box. It's because I'm
yeah.
reading what Logic said in chat.
I'm not looking at chat right now. Probably should though.
Let me see. If you guys have any questions, make sure you guys ask any. Only thing I can think about limiting card picks in 2v2s. Oh, you guys started talking about 2v2. Never
So what's
mind.
the with red? Like red has all these rush minions, but then should we talk about like how come like aggro isn't a thing right now? Like,
It's kind of weird. I don't really understand aggro right now. I think it's drugs and misanthropia isn't really it. Like misanthropia only punishes like non-red aggro, but it's probably just drugs. Drugs is just so efficient. Like eight life is just a super swing that you usually can't get back.
yeah, well, I I'm just wondering if just like if even nerfing drugs like enough to make like blue red aggro or like orange red aggro like be one of the best decks again. I don't know. I'm not convinced like nerfing drugs like
You don't think
does
it's
it.
drugs? Yeah, Beast
Well,
too. Ballsy said Beast. Beast is pretty important from that. Like you can just keep lanes. You can get lanes really easy. I guess this is more of like a discussion of orange red if we're talking about Beast.
yeah.
Um, just the mid range orange red deck can just shut down lanes just so easily, and it's really hard to get them back. Just trading with using the rush as like utility is just super good to just like trade. I don't know. It's very weird.
Mm. That, I wish there was like a a deck around that really punishes the orange red deck, but just seems like you can jam all the rush minions plus like the greed engine in your deck and not get punished by anything. So
Like I don't know. Like they nerfed Panic Raider, okay. So,
mm.
but that was really only for like what like I would have you would have thought that nerfing Panic Raider would have just made um the orange red deck worse since they just graded that, but they kind of buffed it because like Panic Raider was obviously very good for that deck, but it really wasn't like super OD.
I mean, you get enough value out of Heaven and Hell and like Bowl and Parry that like Panic Raider probably was never really needed. Now they
Yeah,
just have higher attack rush minions with
yeah.
Wyvern or whatever.
And Iron Belly is really, really good. Thank you for the follows, guys. Clay and Kaga. Um, it's a pretty interesting deck. I don't know how you properly follow. I mean, not follow. Properly like can nerf the deck without like killing it.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Like I've been a proponent of like a Iron Wyvern rework to make it still a strong minion, but without it being or
Yeah.
like a strong aggro minion without it having rush. But I don't. What do you think of that? I think my suggestion or my like thought was maybe like a 3/3 with agile and not agile, swift and teleport on a 3/3. I don't know
Yeah.
if is that even like playable enough though. I don't know. You just like move it around and attack through lands
Yeah.
every turn.
They may have to like start treating Rush as like kind of how what's the card called? Lemme Sky Ranger is, and just make it like a conditional
Heavy
rush.
gem.
Yeah.
Or just like increase the gem cost on all the rush things. So
Yeah, that's what I wanted. But like even then, like Rush isn't like good right now, like you said.
yeah.
Well, like
Aggro
aggro
isn't
decks,
good, but
and we need
aggro's
aggro.
reliable.
So it's a very weird thing going on right now.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know how they would nerf Heaven and Hell. Like people have suggested Heaven and Hell both giving ephemeral on death, which I don't think really does like all that much. Like it's still going to be the same thing. Like people won't hop from
Yeah.
Heaven to Hell, but that rarely ever happens anyways. Um,
It's kind of like a thing with just Rush in general. Like these cards are like fine. Like every single enchantment has been fine until you like add Rush into the equation because it just abuses it. So I
so
don't really know.
you have to do something like either rework the rush cards, but if they do that, they also have to like make other good aggro options available, like buff some random cards to make them good aggro cards, along with nerfing red or rush cards and then nerfing Wonder Drug.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. I'm not really sure how you make aggro better.
I don't know. It's not like a super probably like bad problem, but like it's hard to like fix. Like you just have to keep it in the corner. You'll be like, okay, we may do something about it eventually. Well, like right
Just,
now, just play.
I mean, for me, it just feels I don't like playing where everyone's just trying to outgreed one another. Like if that, which kind of just seems like what's happening to me. But I guess there's mono blue Valks around, which I still don't really like that much as a deck, as much as Discord likes it. But
Yeah,
it just seems like we're getting into like the mid-range greed fest, or not even mid-range, just greed in general.
mm, I guess like the best way to do to probably like get orange and red is just expansion.
Yeah,
Like it's just
you might be right.
unless they just dock everything,
We have to wait like 3 months now, dude. Oh shit.
which is I don't know. I guess we would get like one more good like balance patch, but I just don't see orange red getting off the top spot. Never talked about Giga. We know Giga is broken. Like everybody knows that.
Remember then their big balance patch nerf? They're like, oh, Giga was supposed to be included, but then we just
Yeah.
decided not, or it just didn't make it in. Like, but then they didn't nerf it on the follow up patch. So I'm wondering what they did to it. I'm guessing it was just like 5+ instead of 4+, maybe. But
That would have been a terrible nerf.
yeah.
Well, not really. Well, yeah, it would have been a terrible nerf in terms of like it wouldn't really do much.
You want your Ifrits to stay around so you can make Orange Red even better.
Yeah, for sure. Also, kind of underrated. We didn't talk about wings. Wings not being an aggro card is actually kind of bad. I actually want wings to be reverted. That's actually a big reason why it's not as good anymore.
New Wings is crazy. It's like the best removal card now, almost, or as far as like single target removal.
Yeah, this card is it should be changed back. It
Yeah.
just nerfed aggro like way too hard.
I really like playing with new wings, but yeah, just it's just like it probably should just be an aggro card. Like they're just, I guess, a bit too heavy-handed with the blue-red nerfs. But,
Yeah, for sure. Is there any? Well, let's talk about. I guess we can talk about like other like really good decks. Um, how do you feel about the yellow orange deck? I know that I don't know if it's like it's still the second best deck. We got some spice now. We'll see with the
uh,
next ladder thing.
it's I'm I don't know. I'm kind of leaning more towards yellow-green being better, but
Really?
just like I think yellow-orange is maybe slightly better against red-orange, but I, I don't know. Maybe just I'm biased because I really like having an OTK to just like play and beat any
Yeah,
other control deck.
and like
But
actually finish the game. It's like that is like a problem with some decks.
I've been liking the yellow blue deck a lot. I would like want to put it in tier one if we did another tier list right now. But that's mainly just like the blue cards line up better against what red's doing than what the green cards
Yeah,
do, and you still have an OTK. So like
yeah. The
just
thunderclap is
having
really
Magnus
good.
and yeah.
The clap effects.
But as far as like the strength of the deck, like overall, you don't get to play. You don't have answers to really big things. Like you don't have Murmur. You can't block it with your own EQ or short stag or whatever. You don't have deported. So I think yellow green's a lot more well rounded. It just that yellow blue happens to be better against red orange. So
Yeah, I definitely can see that. Like the first time I played against this deck, like a few patches ago against Krilltech, I was like, this deck is like so greedy. The yellow orange deck. Like I was like not understanding like why I couldn't like punish them, and it just comes down to like misanthropy and drugs. Like those cards are just so good. They
I
really
it's
well
misanthropy
rounded.
and drugs, but even for yellow orange, you get to play like the orange. You get to play like Ifrit and
Yeah, yeah,
Shadowvar or
yeah.
whatever. You got to have like the good on curve creatures to stop aggro too. So it just has a lot of play. And it kind of plays more like a mid range deck that also has misanthropia and drugs in it. So
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely like it's more of a mid range deck. We just call it control because it's like super late game. Like we don't really have like too many control decks in Mythgard at the moment. So
yeah,
we don't have the removal. Like really
yeah.
nothing's like really control.
Best removal is just rush creatures and dark passenger. So
Yeah,
you are.
that's the fact that it's like no like real control deck kind of made aggro probably get like a over nerf maybe. I could definitely see that since there's not any good control.
Oh, I mean, yellow green was still really
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
in the
yeah.
in the red blue meta, like that was the only other deck really. But they did nerf yellow green a ton too. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's still there.
Yeah, it just doesn't stack.
It's like Thanos. Um, how do you feel about the OP right now? I know
Huh?
that you have some spice coming for that deck, or you have some spice
Yeah.
ideas.
No, yeah. So I've been trying to splash Shroud in OP just because I've been really liking Shroud and everything. But I don't know. It still just feels kind of like too dirtily to like you can beat red orange and like in a slugfest, but then you're just gonna end up same thing. You're gonna lose to like the yellow deck. So it just
Yeah,
doesn't really seem worth playing in general.
yeah. OP is like really good whenever it's like a aggro meta. That's always been how it has been. That's how I originally wanted the deck to be. But like
Yeah.
it didn't it wasn't good in the RB meta though. The aggro deck was just so good.
Have you played any of that OP disc deck that like the anime and God
Yeah,
deck or whatever?
yeah, I played it.
I haven't actually played with it or against it. How do you feel about the deck?
It's not that good.
Okay.
It's just
Oh, just crush
because
Toonstar's hopes and dreams.
it's because it's like missing and things. It's a good concept, but like it's just not fast enough. It's not like a good I don't think it's going to be as good against Orange Red either. I think Orange Red is just going to beat it.
Mm.
Like, obviously, then like basically like tier 1 is Orange Red and then Yellow decks, right?
Yeah,
So like,
pretty much.
if you can't beat Orange Red or you can't beat Yellow decks, then in this meta you shouldn't really be playing that deck. At least if you're playing in a tournament, that's how I'm thinking of it right now. If you're playing in a tournament on ladder, it's fine. Since you play random jank in ladder, it doesn't really matter.
Mm. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to see if or like what Rhino's gonna do to shake stuff up. I doubt Endozoa's even like contributing anymore. I'm guessing since he doesn't play, but
He probably is. I don't know. I would have to ask him. Really, I can't really say anything.
yeah.
I am I'm pretty interested to see how the your Gem Cutter deck does. I actually think that's going to do very well for you. I really like the deck a lot.
Yeah, I like it a lot too. Seems like I don't know. If I'm being honest about it, it's like there's not a really great reason to run it over like yellow green probably, but
Yeah,
you can. Cause I mean that it's like it plays kind of similarly like any yellow deck, but with that one you actually grind out wins kind of with forgelings and value with gem cutters. But yeah, I mean being able to play a ton of like huge creatures like gem cutter being an 8/8 or just like huge forgelings like we said, removal is not very good. So if decks don't have a lot of ways to deal with tall things, then you can just overrun them. So it might
yeah,
be good enough to beat some of the yellow decks just by doing that stuff.
yeah. My YG journey deck right now pretty much just uses Misanthropy as removal. So,
Splashing yellow for Misanthropy.
so it's all like yeah, I can just well yeah, let's just use Misanthropia. We don't really need any removal. We just need to find it.
Right? Yeah, that's how the yellow blue deck is too. You just like just Misanthropy is good enough to deal with any situation I find myself in. So I'll just dirtle and play that card.
I wonder if there's anything else that's like that we should talk about that comes to mind.
Huh?
This was super scuffed. So
I mean,
so
we
like
just put it. We put it together in like an hour. You can't expect that much.
yeah.
I mean, the only thing we kind of touched on the subjects I thought or like we should talk about. Is there anything other jumps in like the tier list as far as like compared to what we rated everything? What was it like about a month ago now? Do you think anything's like really shifted that much?
Let me look at it real quick actually. Well, I probably remember it, but I want to see it but visually.
Can you link it in your chat too so I can find the link?
Yeah, I can. Pretty much it's probably like the YB.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing. I wanted YB to be in like the initial one, but like we didn't really have like a good list at that point and
Mm. Yeah,
things like that.
lasers list pretty sweet too, just like the snake list, snake and enchantment stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I can't really.
GP Necro, where is that at right now?
Well, Master of Shadows is bad now, but or worse
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
It's probably still like. I mean, it's either I don't know. Even when we made the tier list initially, I thought we kind of rated blue green Necro too low. Like to me, it's like either GP or blue green is the best Necro deck probably.
Yeah, BG
Like
is
I
way
would have
better
said for sure
now.
GP. I would have said for sure GP was the best with pre Master of Shadows nerf, but now I don't know. Blue green has that factor that it can just get the nut draw and win against any deck, even if it's RO or any yellow top tier 1 deck, because the nut draw is pretty much unbeatable versus anything.
Yeah, the nutty version of GB.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely can see that. I know we went for the other version. I didn't know for sure. We didn't really know for sure how good YG was still. Like the meta was still like pretty early, but like now I agree with you. We probably should have put it around like high tier 2, the
We
GB
could talk about.
deck.
I've never played Angel Loop at all, but what do you
You
think about
haven't?
Angel Loop right now? No, I haven't.
I don't
Actually, I think I
know.
maybe played one game in casual or something, but like Angel Loop is still always has that X factor that might no one plays it, but it seems like it could still be like fine or one of the better decks.
Like it, that deck is just so hard to play, and like, like it's so hard to play, and like the reward of it really isn't that good. It comes down to
Mm.
that. That's why it's not really played that much.
And
Like even if you like
Earth
play,
Slide's pretty crazy. I feel like, but
yeah, slide is
just
pretty
because the
crazy,
card
but
too.
like even if you like play it like absolutely well, no one's going to play absolutely optimally, but like if I feel like if you play loop, like you can only really play loop because you have to be really good at the deck.
So basically, only min maxer can play Loop. So min
Ejecting,
maxer on Loop is T1, and then yeah, Ejecti plays too. Plays
yeah,
Loop too.
yeah, yeah. Ejecting plays it a lot, so it's definitely not for me. Like it's way too much. Plus, it's like but I think it is good right now though, for sure. It's still like at tier 2.
Mm.
I don't know about RG. We have to look into RG.
Yeah.
It's probably still pretty good though. Rainbow Rush was always like the iffy pick that we did in tier 2.
Yeah.
I don't know where
I
that's at.
Yeah, I feel like we have to play Rainbow Rush versus Orange Red like 10 times, and then like
Thanks for the
see if
raid, Misama or Masa. I mean,
I feel like if Rainbow Rush, like my thought process when we made the tier list is that Rainbow Rush should be pretty favored against Orange Red, but like if we like if I mean, doesn't it seem like Rainbow Rush should like just run over Orange Red, or is it just that Orange Red is too robust and runs too many good cards that it's just not fast enough?
it's probably not Rainbow Rush anymore. I think that's the problem. It's probably just like Journey of Souls, like
Just like
Rush.
Speedway plus
Yeah,
Rush minions, and then
yeah,
whatever else. Yeah, it's pretty hard to splash for Speedway though. That's
yeah,
always the problem. You
maybe.
just have to play a lot of green cards or blue cards you don't really want to play just to play Speedway. But
I don't know. Like we we didn't get to test enough with Rush. I kind of rushed getting the tier list out because I wanted it before like the tournament.
mm,
But we'll be able to take our time the next time we make it. Like for sure. I want to be able. I want. It's probably always going to be just 3 tiers. Maybe we could maybe do like a fourth one, but I would need like way more people for a fourth
yeah,
tier.
the, for fourth, yeah, there is a ton of decks that didn't make the tier list at all. I guess like
Yeah.
that you could have mentioned.
Like I don't really like the deck, but like blue purple is like super popular. I don't know why. People play it a lot on ladder, but
I
like I
feel like
probably should
those are
put
just
it.
like the two favorite colors of the community almost.
Yeah, I
Blue
don't know
purple.
why. I guess it's like the hipster colors. That didn't. Well, orange isn't hipster. I play. Like I'm an orange man for like life.
He just fell in love with Armageddon Angel at first sight.
Yeah, it's like I can't like go without I'm an angel or like some eager creature something like that. Just they have so much good stuff.
Yeah.
Perry,
Yeah.
even though like I know that
Yeah,
it's kind of mean that I say that I don't really care about drawing, but Perry's like pretty good.
I saw you cut Perry in some of your rainbow decks or whatever.
Yeah, the
Not
frenzy
above it, at least.
the frenzy aggro doesn't really need the thing. We didn't even talk about Twin Fire. Twin Fire decks are like pretty cool. They're not like that good, but like
Yeah.
they're pretty cool equity. It kind of just shows like how good Orange is right now.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
that's pretty much like it that we have to talk about. Let me see if the chat has anything that they want to ask us. I didn't want to get into like anything like super like competitive, like maybe about like positioning or anything like that. But like maybe we can like next time like talk over like a replay or something. Like we can both play a replay.
I have to honestly like I'm pretty shit with positioning. I feel like still I don't really think that much when I play creatures down. To be honest, I tend to play like side lanes a lot if I'm going first, and then I play like the middle-ish lanes a lot when I go second. But
Yeah,
it's
positioning
like
is we're still figuring that out for sure. Um, I like I like starting with it just matters the deck really. Like
yeah.
like some aggro decks like to hit the middle lane first. I don't really like the 2/6 thing because like for your first 2 minions, since like keeping like letting your opponent have like that middle lane is like kind of bad, especially like if they have impel. So like I kind of like the three
You like 4,
six
5, or 3,
three
4, and
six
5.
I like 3/6 slash
Wait, 3,
two.
6. You mean?
Yeah, 3/6.
Wait,
Isn't
6.
that right?
Didn't you just talk
Seven
about 2
three.
and 6 is what people normally play, right?
Yes. So like 3/6 would like leave open the 1.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see what you mean. All right. All right. Gotcha.
Yeah. So like the 1 is like obviously your opponent wants to get into like into the corners since they'll stretch you out. Is and so like being at 3 and 6 means that they just have one corner and then they have to come to you for the other stuff. I guess the same thing with 2 and 6, but I don't know. It's kind of weird. I have to.
Yeah,
I'm
I have
still
to
like.
think a lot more about it too. 'Cause there's so many factors as far as like, oh, are you playing against Magnetar? Or are you playing against
Yeah.
Shadowvar? Like, what are you doing?
It comes down to if your opponent has impel or not. It kind of it's very weird. I'm still trying to figure it out. It's probably like something that I need to. Yeah, I have to just form my thoughts about it. But like I feel like 3 and 6 is kind of a bit better since I've been trying it out. But like sometimes I don't do 3 and 6, so it's like sometimes I need to do 2 and 6. It's just not any like
I don't know.
directly right
I
reason to do it. Just play
I
Trophy and ignore positioning.
exactly. And I just end up playing 1 and 7. Like, if I'm going first and I have a 1-drop, I almost always do 1 and 7. I don't even know if it's correct, but it just feels like besides like a Swift 1-drop, I'll put in the middle. But
I think
kind of like forcing people that way. But
I think Maymaxer made like a really good point one time because he told me that he goes 4 whenever he has 2 1-drops in his hand, like 3 1-drops, which makes a lot of sense, right? Because it forces your opponent to go into the middle first, and then like trade something, and then you play 2 like pretty good 1-drops at 1 and 7. But that's like an outlier.
I don't play decks with like 8 1-drops, so I wouldn't know anything about that.
It makes sense.
Well, I guess Eager Recruit does count as a 1-drop, or like 2 1-drops, so I shouldn't say that.
It's not really Eager Recruit though that you would do that with, I believe.
Yeah, that does make sense though. What you're saying.
Because the big thing is that you really can't play like small Eager Recruit early, since it would just die to trap pieces. At least if you're playing red.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like underrated thought on I know people still want that card to be probably nerfed to 1, which is probably like not bad. They would nerf it to the
but
1.
then we still have this situation where aggro is just utter shit. But I guess we just wait till next expansion. I don't know what else to do.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, we can definitely do this like again. I just have to figure out like what to
Like topics or whatever.
yeah.
I mean, this was.
It's pretty
Yeah, I
good.
can't think of. Yeah, you should put this on YouTube too. That's a good like soundbite to put on YouTube.
Yeah, I definitely can. I haven't posted on YouTube in like years, I feel like. Well, it is like a new year, so
Yeah,
since
new
last
year, new
year.
you. New year, new YouTube.